Ayo, I passed the hell out after work yesterday, and now there's so much news to cover. There's been a slew of development hell stories, so we'll talk about that for today. Hey y'all, welcome back to the dodump. So first and foremost, we're getting a Sakurai Presents March 4th. Who do you think is gonna get the me treatment next, guys? All that was stated is that the release date for the fighters will be announced during that show. There's a good chance that they could be available later that day, or at least in the same week. Unless they make them have a boss mode like Sephiroth. There's also a State of Play tomorrow afternoon. I'm actually kind of excited for that. If you don't know, State of Play is like Sony's Nintendo Direct. Just hopefully it's not half an hour of indie games and then like God of War 2. God of War 2 would be hype, but there's been a lot of buzz about Elden Ring. Elden Ring, the new FromSoft game that has the most insane collaboration between George R.R. Martin and Miyazaki. I could see Fortnite being in Smash way more than a combination like that. Those are the two things from the State of Play that everyone's got the most buzz around. Apparently there's some inside leakers for Elden Ring, but we will see. I just hope it's not half an hour of indie games, because God, some of those State of Plays are dreadful. Too much downtime. Now let's get to the juicy bits. Development hell. First, the biggest headline of the day is that Bioware's Anthem 2.0 or Anthem Next got completely canceled. Anthem, being a game from 2019, got heavily criticized for having known bugs in a beta that they didn't solve, really awkward story-based pacing for a co-op game, and a really harsh loot system that leads to a pretty much drought of good items post endgame. I haven't played this game myself, but from things I'm reading is that the flying controls and the shooting is really solid. It just needs more polish and more material. Bioware stated that they're gonna move development resources to Mass Effect, probably the next iteration of the series, and Dragon Age, kind of Dragon Age 4. Those are the more well-known titles. It just really sucks for the people that actually stuck with Anthem and were waiting for this new update, or basically the next Anthem game. But all the blame here seems to be completely on EA. EA forcing the game to launch too early before they could iron out all the bugs seen in the beta. EA looking at the state of Anthem in 2019 and pushing for the overhaul that we're talking about now being canceled. I wonder if Bioware has the ability to cancel one of these projects. There is a very long history of EA and Bioware, leading to many of the Bioware old heads or old executive leaving the company. Think the whole situation with Bungie Activision, where the pillarhead directors of the company were leaving. Speaking of buggy games failing to deliver on an update, Cyberpunk 2077. They completely missed their deadline for patch 1.2. I think it was at the end of last year that they had a delivery schedule. But yeah, a few weeks ago we covered how CD Projekt Red got completely hacked and locked out of their servers. The source code for Gwent completely leaked, and anyone posting source code on social media like Twitter actually got a DMCA takedown from CD Projekt Red. Due to this insane data breach, losing source code for Cyberpunk 2077 and Witcher 3, CD Projekt Red failed to deliver their big content update for Cyberpunk 2077. And Cyberpunk, like Anthem, released way too early to please stockholders, and even with all the major bugs patched out, still needs some serious content updates. Now this one I actually can speak on because I played a hell of a lot of Cyberpunk 2077 full playthrough over on the second channel. But overall, the story pacing was so uninteresting. It had some cool story beats, only to be taken out by something glitching in the background or something. But even then, the story beats are so few and far in between, it literally feels like a 4-hour story dragged to 20 hours. It's that bad. My major complaint with the game, and it seems like with many others, is its lack of customization. The biggest letdown I had playing that game, honestly, was that there's no cool cybernetic transformations. I was expecting some like Deus Ex type crap. There were some things I liked about that game, but I guess we're gonna have to wait a full year before the full game comes out. If they have any resources left after this data breach, and I mean because company morale has to be at an all-time low over there. And probably the worst story of today, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, what a name, is stuck completely in development hell now. It has been pushed to an indefinite release date, and all pre-orders have been canceled, and its publisher Paradox Interactive completely separated with the developer Hardsuit Labs. There is so much wasted resources, money, in development time that we're just looking at here. Okay, well, in the case of Anthem, they're probably going to keep that code. But here, with a developer getting completely cut, sounds like a Metroid Prime 4 situation. Gotta reboot the whole thing. So really sad news from anyone that was looking forward to this game. Bloodlines 2 is still in development. This game is very important to us, and it has been an ambitious project from the very start. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank and honor Hardsuit Labs. Yeah, okay, yeah, you cut them like bad blood. Oh my gosh, it just keeps coming. Techland, developers for Dying Light 2, is seeing a massive turnover rate right now due to some internal development struggle. Company's management is having a negative effect on both the morale and workflow of its employees, and thus in turn complicating and slowing development of Dying Light 2. Apparently, at least 20 staff have left Techland in the last 2 months. CEO Powell and his managers refuse the advice of the studio's own experts and insist on the team using ideas found in other games rather than creating their own. Oh boy. One of his super strict rules for design is that an idea can't be implemented if it doesn't have an existing reference from another game. He is infatuated with CD Projekt Red. Okay. This is just one dude that's ruining this game, huh? Holy crap, there's been problems with Dying Light 2 since 2019. Textbook development hell. And this late into the development, they're seeing high turnover because of basic mechanics that they want to introduce in the game. Oh, it sounds like they're well of a ways off. But it also sounds like it's not the developer's fault because none of their ideas can get in. Why is a manager even gatekeeping mechanics that their design team want to implement? Or even if he takes on a designer manager role, what kind of lead designer takes a page out of Butch Hartman and only wants to trace over mechanics seen in other games? Lastly, this happened a little bit ago, but I want to throw this in because it relates to the topic. But lead designer of Microsoft's Perfect Dark, I guess it's not even rare anymore, is leaving the studio and is back on an Insomniac game. Drew Murray worked on games like Sunset Overdrive, Ratchet and Clank, and the entire Resistance series. I was really looking for Xbox's Perfect Dark. It's literally just female James Bond, but in a cyberpunk setting. Pretty cool. But lead designers leaving is not a good sign. But as we've seen from all of our other stories, a good lead designer and a good manager makes all the difference because they gatekeep, or they can do things like change deadlines, or, you know, allow your personal data to be sold on the internet. Oh, but don't worry, CD Projekt Red already told the officials. That's not really fun to read about, especially the Dying Light 2 thing. I didn't even know that was happening. Because like EA, Bioware, yeah, you hear crap from them all the time. Anthem was already pretty niche because the first entry of the franchise was a flop. Let me know your predictions for tomorrow's state of play. It's probably just going to be a bunch of Ratchet and Clank. Also, which potential Smash fighter do you think is going to get off to like Geno? Kind of hope it's Jonesy because it's looking real possible that Jonesy's actually going to be in Smash. Last side tangent, how many trailers started off fighting Galeem or Darkon, and it's just going to be that trailer with everyone fighting Galeem or Darkon, and then Jonesy comes in and teleports them all to safety? I hate how easy it is to imagine that. Anyways, that'll be it for today's dodump. Y'all just got dumped on. Bye-bye.